Can we just take the
Right.
last S? Just the last S. Just the last S. Now that's the tallest. Just say. It's a good goal.
Sometimes you get very naughty.
That's I think that's a trade secret.
This is still the first month of 2025. I'm sure some of you are still trying to grope your way through what 2025 is going to be like. You're still busy making your resolutions, even though they say that we should have started not just making them, implementing them from the 1st of January.
Or is it a revolution?
But it's never too late to start. This is still January. So the rising cost of living and an unpredictable economy can make financial planning feel overwhelming.
No be lie.
Tell me about it. But here's the truth. You can crush your financial goals. The key is setting clear, actionable steps and just sticking to the plan. Whether you want to save more, invest smarter, or simply take control of your money. Okay. I'm sure some of you are thinking, easier said than done. Well, guess what? There's a personal development specialist in the studio with us who will tell you exactly, or should I say tell us, exactly how to do all those things that sound so simple. Good morning, Mr. Kurongobo.
Good morning.
Tell us you.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So I want to set my goals. I want to take control of my money. I want to invest smarter. How easy is it?
Okay, maybe a variant of that question is, what are the challenges in its way?
Okay, so I like the second question as well, because first, it is not easy. It is not easy. Okay. I learned this prayer a long time ago, the serenity prayer. Okay. Lord grants me the serenity or calmness of mind to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and then the wisdom to know the difference. You can't change inflation. You can't change economy. You can't change... Well, maybe you can influence dirty December, but you can't change it. You can't change it. So there are some things you cannot change, which means most times you should focus on what we have control over.
Wait.
And that's the usual challenge.
Just a quick digression.
Okay.
If it is dirty December, what is the word for January? Clean January.
It must be something like 99 days in a month, January. And we should find a word for it.
It is the longest month.
It is the longest month.
The year.
But some people are saying it's a shorter January this year.
Well, it's fast. Is the truth.
Unlike previous January.
Because we're already on that.
And why?
Okay, so first of all, why is it longer than normal months? Let me even start from there. The thing is that January starts to count before Christmas, especially for financial reasons.
Because you have got your salary
earlier
by the 15th.
And you have spent it by the 25th.
Maybe employers should stop paying December salaries early.
I totally agree. I noted it. In fact, the people I help to pay salaries, we don't pay salaries before Christmas. So if you have a 13th month additional bonus to get, or some year-end bonus, you get them before Christmas. Your salary comes on the last day of the month. So your January is shorter. Yes.
Your
January is shorter than those who get it before Christmas. And by Christmas Day, the eye has cleared.
I don't clear. And they chook.
Seriously. I totally agree.
So you were saying?
Yes, so it is longer for many reasons, partly because money comes into your hands earlier. People spend more when they're happy. This is psychological. I'm glad I did some masters in psychology at some point. People spend more when they're happy. That's why in retail stores, they play music. So you are doing this while you're picking stuff
that you don't need sometimes.
You stay on the queue longer, you don't mind. And while you're on the queue, there are things just before you pay that you still add to the cart. People spend more when they're happier. And so spending is emotional in itself. But the first part is you start earlier than other months. The second part is because people have a way of arranging their lives that bills have a party with you in January. They just come together in January. When everybody talks about that, rent happens because many people, for some reason, pay rent in December And they move houses in December because they are happier in December. They want a new, fresh start in January. So rent happens in January. School fees happens in January. So many things collide. That's the word I use in January. So you started earlier, you are broke faster, and then more bills come. And that's why January is usually long.
Say that again. You started earlier.
You started earlier, you are broke faster, and then more bills gather. The way I said it, I should put it up somewhere. But that's what makes January a long month for most people.
Before we go to the solutions that I know you are here with, there's a picture I saw many years ago. Let me move a little further from Alero because it might earn me a backhand. A picture of two people, two pictures. One has a man who entered.
Careful.
Entered a shopping mall. Just goes, picked what he wanted. Just looked around one or two things and went to the till and goes out. Second picture shows a woman.
A woman. Yeah, I know.
I should move to.
Oh, well, you know, the picture, the pen to show the direction of the man was in red. You see the way you did your hand? That's the way the thing showed all the aisles in the shop. True. What does psychology say about that one?
So, first point, I will speak from this side of the device.
I should warn both of you to be very, tread softly.
I will.
Okay.
So I will ignore the gender part to it and just speak to spending and psychology of it.
Thank you very much.
For safety reasons.
Thank you.
So what happens most times is where people don't have clear plans, then there's something I have named the spirit of money that comes to us a lot and talks to us. And I can prove it to you. You come into some money, somebody who hasn't called you in the last 6 months calls you out of the blues and has a need for your money. I'm sure most people have that kind of experience. Or there's an eatery next to your house. You don't smell the food until you have money. When you have money, you start noticing that this place looks nice. Maybe I should check it out. Maybe I should see what's going on. It's a psychological thing that just once money is in your hand and there's no name to it, that's why I put it. There's no name to the money. Then things begin to look different. Needs, wants become needs. This becomes something I like to have. If I meet you up in an eatery for a meeting and we don't have money, we don't discuss buying something so they don't harass us. If we have money, we are uncomfortable. They may come to harass us. Let's just buy meat pie or something. That happens. It's psychological. That happens too when people walk into a place and don't have a plan for what they want to get in there.
No, most cases, these particular people we are talking about, they have a list.
Okay. Again, Ayo, I am not joining you. Please take notes.
People.
I'm not with you.
You said
good.
People.
So the first part is that
fear go kill you. You are dying before you are killed.
I just want to walk out of this today, one piece. And be fine. So the first part is that part. The second part is even with or without a list. If somebody had a budget, and people think budgets are only about money, you should have a budget for time too. So free time is enough reason to meander through aisles and check things out. If I had an appointment 20 minutes after, there's no time to look around. Once there's no time to look around, there's no more time to spend finding things I don't need and spend. So I think it's budgeting, but not just time, not just money, also with time.
Okay. Now to the issues now. What are the things that challenge finance goals in a year? What are the things that make it difficult for people to say, okay, I want to set financial goals? And then even after setting the financial goals, what are the things to look out for? What are the, should I say, redundancies that one should build just in case?
First thing is setting it right. So many people have wishes they call goals.
Oh.
First point, a goal without a plan it's just a wish. I would like to be rich in 2025. It's not a goal, it's a wish. It has to become smart, which we're very particular about. Specific, I want to have 25 million by the end of the year. Measurable, 2 million a month. Achievable, what am I doing to earn that kind of money and set it aside? Relevant to everything I want to be in life. Jackpot to Canada. By the way, jackpot is in the dictionary.
Yes.
So I learned. Interesting.
Yes.
Anagbero and Eba.
Yes.
Relevance to all those other goals and then time bound. If you don't do that, first point.
By the way, so is Fanny Moros.
Yes, I heard of Fanny Moros a while back. Yes. Fanny Moros. So first is setting it wrong. Once you set it wrong, then it will fail. That's the first part. The second part is we focus more on external issues than on us. The biggest part to achieving a goal is not things outside you, is you. People don't have the discipline to do what needs to be done. So you set the goal, and then someone comes up and says, let's go, it's dirty December, don't sit in your house, yada, yada. And then you join them. And in one night, you spend your salary of 2 months. Because you don't want people to look at you a certain way. Because you don't want to be left out of what... That's usually what makes it fail. So the first thing is setting it wrong. The second thing is you, the discipline part. Then the third part is not thinking seriously about what resources and support you require to get it to happen. So what kind of income should you be earning? What kind of support system should you have? Those kind of things become important. I think those are the three major reasons why before you start trying to get the goals to work, you set it wrong.
Okay.
You set it on the wrong parameters, or you don't set them properly at all. Second is when you set it, focus on you first. If you don't have the discipline to follow through a goal, I have 1 pack. Assuming I wanted a 6-pack, the biggest issue would not be paying for a gym or having a gym body. The biggest issue would not be paying my subscription for the gym. The biggest issue would not be those things. It will first be me. Good sleep, drink water, watch what you eat. If you don't do those things, your gym money will go for 6 months and you won't go to the gym.
And then taking yourself to the gym.
In fact, that's another thing altogether. Just getting up and saying, okay, it's time to go to the gym. So if you don't get you sorted out, the rest will not work.
You know, when you say that, when people say, I don't want people to look at me in a certain way, so I do what I don't want to do. What will happen if they look at me in a certain way?
Interestingly, I've never found an answer to that. They are not paying your bills, they are not feeding you.
You know,
Why?
I read somewhere, it says what people think about you is not your business. It's their business.
Their business.
Okay. Now, practically speaking,
Yes.
People who have salaries, okay, everything, some of them, they say something, they said that their take-home cannot take them home. Some cannot even take them to the bus stop.
True.
Okay. How do they save? Because there's that thing that people say that, look, I don't even have enough, and I'm expected to save. So how can someone save when his take-home cannot even take him to the bus stop?
First question to the person is, do you know how much is enough? Many of us don't know. We just go out to buy rice when rice is finished in the house. By the way, I said I was going to say this on national TV, so thank you for bringing me. When I was a kid, rice was a luxury. You ate rice only on weekends or doing...
Not weekends, Sundays.
I apologize.
And Christmas Day.
And Christmas Day, and those kind of days.
3 times a year, man. 3 times a year.
For some people.
Christmas, Easter and Ileya. Only.
That was it. And there was a reward part to it. The meat was reward for finishing your rice.
It has to be chicken.
And it has to be after you finish the rice.
Yes.
Now it's a staple meal. We don't grow enough of it in Nigeria, and it's a problem. But let me do that apart. I just thought to mention that real quick. So first point is, if you can't save when you have 20,000, you can't save when you have 200. And the starting point is people don't even know how much they need. Most people, I dare say maybe 95% of people today, can't tell you how much they need to live a normal life every month because they never bothered with it. If that is the case, you would have 200,000 and then it would not be enough. Then you have 1 million, it won't be enough.
So let's help us understand what are the things that people should pay attention to so that they can know that they indeed have enough.
First of all, clarify what a need is. Maslow's hierarchy of needs helps to clarify that. Food, shelter, transport, if you're going to work, are needs.
How many times?
Clothing.
How many times do I have to eat to have enough?
I think the question first is how many times a day do you have to eat? Let's stop there. Let's not add to have enough. I think, sorry, I'm radical in my thinking. First, I don't see why adults today have to eat 3 times a day. You're not eating to grow. You have reached the peak of your growth. You may grow, in girth, but definitely not. So why are you eating 3 times a day? Your body doesn't need 3 times a day food.
What if the stomach is crying for you?
Tell the stomach that, behave yourself. The system we are in doesn't allow
that kind of luxury.
Exactly. You don't need to. So if you sit, people say this a lot. Oh, you eat 101, 011. usually those things don't happen because people decide to do it. They happen because we don't have. What if we decided to do it? And do you know the benefits to not eating so much?
Health, yeah.
There are health benefits to it. If you discipline your body, you can discipline everything else. That discipline you're looking for is easier when you can say, I don't want to eat even there's food. So maybe you shouldn't eat 3 times a day and not budget 3 times a day meals.
Okay. And
For
transport?
a start. Transport, this one we've discussed over and over again. Do you have to go to work every day? It's not your choice if you are employed. If you are not employed, because not all of us are employed by people, then you don't have to go to work every day. If I don't have to go to work, I'm not going anywhere. In fact, going somewhere means that there's value somewhere else. I'm not going anywhere. Starting point.
Because
So
going out means spending money.
It means spending money. Now, if you then have to go out, do you have to go out the same way every day? This I've repeated over and over again. Why can't I find people who go where I go when I'm going there and come back when I'm coming back and join them? I could pay them a smaller fee than paying public transport fees. I could swap with them. We call it carpooling.
Yeah.
We can, rotate. And it's because people still feel, how would they look at me when I talk to my colleague about joining them in their car, like I don't have one. But please repeat that thing you said so they can hear it. What people think about you
It's not your
is
business.
not your business. Just go to work and come back. So you can begin to cut all those things off if you first start with you and separate what is a need from a want. And then over time begin to pile them up. So first thing is confirm what you need in a month. If most people do a budget today in Nigeria, you find something very interesting that reflects Nigeria in Nigerians. We spend more than we earn. Standard, we spend more. The budget deficit in Nigeria sometimes is 40%, 50%. We plan to spend more than we earn. Then we blame the government for it. It's reflected in most Nigerian families today. We spend more than we earn. We just have other things that bring little monies in. So something for the weekend, 1,000. And then
it's the government that taught us how to
do this.
Yes.
Well, we have to learn to stop relying on government.
No, aside from that, is it not the same you that is in government?
Oh, by the way.
Anyway, so bullet points.
Yeah.
Need to kind of to-do list to help people set goals, monitor their goals,
and achieve
them,
those
and
goals.
reward themselves when they achieve major milestones before December.
Okay, so there's a personal finance session coming up soon where we'll break it down. But I'll just do the bullet points so that people can take that first. The first part is to plan. So before you get to December or January, the two sort of most interesting months in the year, the first thing you should do is plan. So I have bought rice that will last me through Christmas in August or September for the past 2 or 3 years. That time, first of all, the rice is less expensive, it's more available, and I know I won't finish it till Christmas. Why am I waiting until 2 days to Christmas to go and buy rice? When clearly it's inflated in price. It's a little bit of planning. So first is to plan. By the way, you don't have to eat rice on Christmas Day. People don't visit you as much as we used to as children, so they don't know what you eat.
In fact, most of the time you don't eat rice.
You don't
on
eat
Christmas.
rice on Christmas Day. You just happen to. But we know
You just want to have
rice in your house. So if you must have rice, please buy it early. Don't wait till Christmas. A friend of mine is HR in a company in Abuja. I can't mention her name. And she started buying rice that the company normally buys for staff in November. So I told her, I'm not sure that this will go down well with their staff. And she said, I don't care what they think. We owe them rice. I'm buying it now. I'm saving the company money. And except if you are feeding a village, you can't finish a bag of rice between November and December. So every year, she buys rice in November. Simple planning. I think the first thing before the months come is to plan. The planning includes things like what I mentioned before, your bills colliding. So can you begin to spread the due dates for your bills beyond January? If you can, pay rent in September or October. Don't do September too, because school fees is higher in September. It's higher in September. So maybe in July, you have bills for rent. September, you have a spike in bills in July for rent, a spike in September for new school fees or new term school fees, then a spike in so your January spike is gone because you spread it over. So those are the kind of things we should do first. Plan before. Secondly, during that period, please wear a helmet on your senses. I don't know where that came from, but it sounds like it's appropriate. There's this superhero. There are these superhero. I watch superhero movies every now and then. There's one. I think his name is Juggernaut. One that has a helmet. That when you remove the helmet, the helmet will prevent your emotions from taking over thinking. You have to do it in December. Most people don't know how to do it. So what happens, like I said earlier, the eye clears by Christmas Day. You have gone somewhere because you now say, I can't come and kill myself. That's how we say it in Nigeria. So you've gone out, which is good. You've hung out with people, which is good. And then while you are there, who says, for instance, I have to spray the musician? I don't spray anybody. They paid him in full before he came to perform.
Exactly.
Okay, there's disinfectant you can use to spray.
To spray the air. When it's there, I will not spend extra when I didn't plan to spend in those situations. So we need to put a cap on how emotions take over how we spend. I've told you, retail stores is proper, is appropriate to play music. The more groovy the music, the louder the music, the more people spend. Yes. It's psychology. There's a book called Biology, B-U-Y-ology, by Martin Lindstrom. He wrote it a long time ago. He came to launch the book in Nigeria. I was privileged to be at the launch. So I heard him speak, I read the book. It tells you how your mind affects how you spend. Most people don't bother until when there's nothing left. They will now blame everybody else.
I think with these few words of yours, I have made up my mind.
You are convinced.
I'm convinced more than convinced. I'd rather stay at home.
Mr. Koro, every time you come, you just leave us in stitches when you do your analysis, which make perfect sense, but they're also full of humor. Thank you very much for coming, and a Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you.
Which of these are you going to follow? Start making your
wear a helmet on your sense.
So that is Sunrise for today. We hope that you enjoyed being with us. We enjoyed bringing you the program. In fact, we enjoyed it very much. And we hope to bring you a fresh edition next week. I'm Alero Edu saying bye-bye.
Wear a helmet on your financial spending this year. I'm back in here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Wear a helmet. Helmet.